So everybody's coming in now. I think I'll just make sure that we haven't got any more waiting rooms. Everyone can just come straight in. And as we come in, my name, for those that have never met me before, I'm Nick Cree. I run Positive Business Online, which is a digital marketing website development business here in Australia. I'm up on the Gold Coast. In fact, I'm in the lovely Mount Tamborine, so a great place to be down in lockdown. So I've spent too many hours inside. I'm going white because I'm not getting enough sunshine. So anyone else that's like that as well too, you're in good company. So tonight is all about your personal branding. It's about your imagery. It's about videos, about photography. And we have an exceptional speaker who is joining us, and in fact, who has joined us tonight. And she'll be talking with us later on about it. So she's worked with some of the stars in Australia, and I'm really looking forward to the conversation we're going to have with her. Her name's Zarina Robertson. You'll see her in one of the, she's waving, look at that. So you'll see her. So just while we're getting started, while we're waiting for everyone to come online, please, whoever's first, unmute yourself, introduce yourself, tell us what your business is, and you know, where you're from. And I have to say, Brian Paul, that is an exceptional shirt that you've got on. I love it.
I'm following your lead, Nick.
Excellent, excellent. No, I think I was following your lead. You introduced me to some of these great shirts.
It looks great on you, mate.
Thank you. All right, who else have we got with us here tonight? Just unmute yourself and introduce yourself.
Hi Nick, it's Christine. Sorry, it's dark. I've had a huge day and I've been painting, so I'm not going to put any light on it.
Sometimes it's good to be kept in the dark, isn't it? So welcome along again. Who else have we got here tonight?
Hi, I'm Mark Hoy. I run a financial planning business out in the country, Lithgow. So
awesome. Welcome along, Mark.
Sorry?
That's a good part of the country there, Lithgow, so welcome along tonight.
Yeah, it's bloody cold at the moment, but...
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think winter's definitely on its way, isn't it?
Yep.
Wow, Mark, I missed that cold weather. I come from Orange.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Awesome. Who else have we got on here tonight? Just introduce yourself.
I'll go next. Hi, everyone. My name's Sashwa. I'm from Living Illumination. I'm a blockage release specialist specialising in soul-centred personal development for professionals. Great
Fantastic.
to see you all.
Good to have you here, Sashwa.
Thanks, Nick.
Hello, Aldwyn here. I'll just jump. Hello. I'm sitting in my car. I've just had a walk, actually. I got out of the house, away from the computer, and just did a beautiful walk around Emerald Lake. So I'm going to be listening to you as I drive home. Great to see Zarina again. So great to be here. I have a media business on the Gold Coast known as the Media Queen. I help people get their message to the masses using online and offline media.
Awesome.
Thank you. And you're awesome, Nick. And Nick does my websites. He's amazing. I highly recommend work with Nick if you want a great website person. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and who else do we have here?
Happy to go next. Oh, Donna, do you want to go?
Hello, Donna.
That's fine. That's fine. Hi, I'm Donna. I live on the Gold Coast too. I've seen Aldwyn. We were actually friends on Facebook, but I hadn't. Yeah. Anyway, nice to put a voice to a face.
Excellent. Well, welcome along here.
Thanks.
And who else did we have here? Oh, we've got Malcolm. He's talking. You just need to unmute yourself, Malcolm. Let me do that for you. There you go. Start again.
Yeah, Malcolm, I was at one of the last meetings just recently, so I'm very interested to hear what has to be said about presentation and all things media. Thanks.
Excellent. Oh, welcome along again. Glad you came back. All right. Who else do we have here?
Go next. My name is Ekta. I run a small business called Great Creates, in which I support small business owners with promotional and branded merchandise. I am based in Brisbane.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, great to have you here. Thanks, Hector.
Thank you.
All right. And a couple more to introduce themselves. Tell us who you are.
Hi, Nick.
Hey, Lewis. How are you going?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me. Hi, everyone. I'm Lewis from Refresh Super. It's my own small business based on the Gold Coast, specialising in self-managed super funds. I provide a fixed price monthly accounting service to all SMSF trustees. So thanks for having me again, and I might see you again another time.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, welcome back again. Good to see you again. And lucky last, who's going to be our lucky last before we get ready to kick off? So that'd be Wendy, I think.
Yeah, my name's Wendy, and I'm from the surface in the Gold Coast, and I'm a wellness coach. And I just thought I'd just jump on here just to see what's happening and what I can learn.
Fantastic. Well, welcome along. Glad you could make it.
Thank you.
Excellent.
I think I want to do one.
Oh, did someone else jump in there?
Me.
Oh, Leslie. Leslie.
Yes. You made me go first last time. I was like, not this time. Anyway, yes. Hi, I'm Leslie. I am a life coach. My business is called Leslie V Coaching, and what I specialize in is, well, I draw upon my very international academic background, and I help my clients by working with them to build a personal transformation curriculum from start to finish. And yes, it's good.
Excellent. And it's not only good, it's fantastic, in fact.
Thank you.
Welcome along again, Leslie. Glad you could make it, and glad you were last this time. All right, well, actually, we've got time for one more, because I just realised I didn't have my PowerPoint presentation up, so I'm madly trying to find that at the moment. So we've got time for one more to introduce yourself.
I'll go, Nick. Hi, everyone. My name is Sue. I just started a business helping STEM graduates and health graduates. The STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, as well as professional that has no prior experience in industry getting their first job.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, that sounds very good. All right. Well, welcome along here, Sue. Glad you can make it. All right, so we will share my screen now that I've got my PowerPoint presentation up. And okay. All right, so as I said, welcome along. This is Business Owners Smashing It Online. For those of you that haven't been here before, this is it used to be an offline meetup. So we used to meet in Brisbane and the Gold Coast once a month. Now it is every week, and we meet here online, and we meet all over the world. So, and we do get people that come in here from all over the world as well too. I think most of us are from Australia today. So the purpose of the meetup is really for those that are in business, those that are thinking about getting into business, those that have got an entrepreneurial seizure, and you know, sort of want to explore what this business thing might be. It's all about you know, helping you with online tools and how to really maximise some of the opportunities online, some of the strategies online, and some of the apps and tools online at the moment as well, to make things easier, save you time, and hopefully to make you some money as well. Every week we have a guest speaker that has got a specialty in a particular area, and they sort of present on that, and to really give you some ideas to then take away and hopefully implement. And one thing I would say is that there is a lot of information shared here on the night. So definitely do take some notes, and do go out and take at least one action so that you solidify some of those learnings. So let's have a look at the agenda for tonight. Well, actually, first thing is, if you have your smartphone here, take it out, find Facebook, and go and check in. So, and Facebook's recently changed how they do that. So now what you do is you open up your Facebook app, go to the where you'd normally go and type in a comment or a post, and just tap on it, and then it will bring up a screen from the bottom, and one of those options in there is to check in. So if you tap on the check-in icon, then it should bring up a list of probably places that are nearby to you. So if you don't see the Business Owners Smashing It Online listing there, just tap into search and search for Business Owners Smashing It Online. Once you've got that there, tap on it and check in. And it's always good to put a comment on there to say that, hey, you're attending here online, or let everyone know that they're missing out on a fabulous evening. And really checking in like this has got two reasons. One, it lets everybody know that that we're running, and so we might get a few more people come and check in and join you. But more importantly, it builds up your digital profile as well too, so that as people see you round on Facebook, and you know, when you're commenting and they come and think, well, who's this person here? They'll often hover over your icon, and then they'll go and visit you. And generally when people visit you and have a look at your profile, when they scroll down to the bottom, they start to see what are the activities that you're involved in. So if you're in business, then one of the things that helps to you know, create your digital profile and solidify your credibility is the things that you attend. So it's good not just to have all of the cafes that you've attended or you've been to, although none of us can really go to cafes at the moment. Or the casino, if you happen to frequent the casino on a fairly regular basis. But it's got all of your, you know, your professional things that you attend as well too. So it really just builds up your personality, your brand, which is sort of what we're talking about tonight, in a way that is a third-party means of doing it. So it's always good to check in when you're on Facebook to events like this, whether they're in person or online. All right, so the agenda for tonight is we have, as ever, we have some cool online tools. So these are tools that I've discovered, I use, or some new things that are out there at the moment that we run through. And at the moment, there are about 60,000 tools. What's it? Oh, geez, I've probably got this wrong now, isn't it? I think it's 60,000 new tools released every month. So there's a heap of apps and tools released every single month, more than I can get through, more than any of us can get through. So I've just tried to distill some of the best ones down to present some of those tonight that may or may not be useful for you and your business. Then we've got our guest speaker, who tonight is Serena Robertson, and she'll be talking about personal branding, photography, videos, and how to become a star like all of the people that she's worked with. There is time for questions and answers, so definitely sort of ask Serena questions when you've got her here. At the end of it, we do have a prize draw, and the way this prize draw works is we've got a pretty special way to draw this, but you actually have to be here to win the prize. If you duck off early, then unfortunately you don't win the prize. And then we'll announce the next event, and then we'll close off at around about 7:30. So that all sound good? Give us a thumbs up. Perfect. Awesome. All right, well, let's start with our first billing of the night, which is our cool online tools. So these are tools that I've found, and some of them that I've used. And generally, sometimes they're ones that people have triggered me to think about during the week, which is what our next tool is here. And this is all about email deliverability. So who here has heard about a sender policy framework, or SPF? Yep, it's pretty boring and pretty geeky, but this here is the thing that ensures that your emails get through to the people that they should do, rather than ending up in spam. So I thought it might be just good to talk about what this actually is, where to find it, and how to check whether you've got one and whether it's working properly. One of the recommendations I have is that for email is that you should be using either G Suite, which is Google's commercial, or Gmail service for businesses. So it's still got your domain name on, so it's not at Gmail, it's at your domain name. That's a commercial framework for delivering email, and the other one is Office 365. So those are really the two big players that are out there, and you should be using one of those. The old way of doing emails was through your server, but these days, if you've got a business, then you should not be using your server where your website's hosted for email, for a couple of reasons. One, if your website goes down, your emails also have gone down. And two, for security. So these days, with malware and hackers out there at the moment, one of the easy entries for hackers and malware to get in to your website and your online properties is through your server, and it really is through your email. So for security purposes, you should really move your email off your server and into something like G Suite or Google. So, or Office 365, which is Microsoft. So one of the things that the email providers have been tightening up with is who's allowed to send emails and where it's allowed to be sent from. So what spammers often do is they send emails that pretend to be you to other people. So you may have seen emails that have come to you from someone that you know, so their name is in the subject line or in the from line, and so they trick you into thinking it's from themselves. Now, one thing is that you know that it's not from them is you just hover over the email and or their name, and that'll bring up the email address, and you can see whether it's really their email address or whether it's a fake email address which ends in something like .ru, which is Russia, or some equally innocuous one. So what these email servers have done is they've put in place this thing called a sender policy framework. And what a sender policy framework does is it tries to stop the spam. So if someone sent an email pretending to be someone else from a domain or a web server that doesn't belong to them, they'll block it, or they'll at least deliver it into spam. So where your sender policy framework resides is in your domain name server record. So it's wherever your domain's registered, or it could be sitting on your web server as well too. There are a whole lot of records there that dictate, one, where your website is. So you've got a record there that points to an IP address, which is where your website sits. Where your mail is, so if you're collecting mail through Google G Suite or Office 365, that there is an address in your DNS record. So your DNS is really an address book which points traffic in various different directions for your website, for your mail, for all sorts of things. One of those records is the SPF record, and I'll just explain what it looks like. So you can see a diagram here. Let me just move it into presentation view, and we'll show you how it looks. This is what the record actually looks like if you go into your domain name registrar. So I'll just run through what it is. So the first thing is there's V equals SPF1, which is just Sender Policy Framework 1. So that's what denotes what that record is. Next thing is that your domain is listed there. TTL is time to live. So that's really a cached record. So that often if you change this record, often it takes up to 4 hours or could take 6 hours for all of the servers around the world to pick it up. You don't need to worry about that too much. The bits that you do need to worry about are this. So the plus A and plus MX says that these are the IP addresses that mail is allowed to come from. So typically your MX address is your mail address, which is Google or Office 365. The A stands for or really points to the IP address that your website sits on. So it says mail can go from those places. So to make it a bit more specific, this record also has the IP address in, which is where your website sits. So for instance, for this website, mysuccess.com, that is a text record or the text address of the actual address, which is a string of numbers. So people can remember mysuccess.com. It's a bit harder to remember 45.77.238.54. That's really what a website domain, that's where it ends up, is hitting those set of numbers. So, so it says that mail is allowed to come out from your website when that IP address is listed. So if anyone else uses, puts your email address on their website and sitting on another server, then it will just go straight to junk, or it won't even be delivered at all to people's email addresses. And then the last one, or second to last one, is the include. So there's one that says include, :spf.google.com. So what that means is that Google is allowed to send mail out on behalf of mysitesuccess.com. So that says that, got a G Suite account, so mail can come out from there. And the all says this series of this record here always applies. So don't worry about that all too much. But the key things is that your SPF record must contain the IP address that your website sits on. That's the number one. And the second thing it must contain is who's hosting your email. So in this case, it's Google. If it was Microsoft, it would have Microsoft's record on there. And there are a few other ones too, like SendGrid and whatever. But those are the two essential items if you want your emails to get delivered to someone's email address and not end up in spam. So, a bit technical, I know. I can see some people starting to fall asleep now. Leslie's drinking a big sort of cup of Coke there, it looks like, to keep awake. But let me sort of take you through to a practical example. So, with this, everything from V to SPF1, all the way through to all, if you go into your DNS records and you want to check it, then there is a website which you can go to check to see whether you have got a valid record that is going to ensure that your email gets delivered. So there's the email, there's the website address down the bottom. It's called bamsoft.com/support/tools/SPF-syntax-validator. So grab a screenshot. We'll actually put those into the notes as well too, so that you can save that and download that at the end of the day. All right, so let's go and have a look and see what that looks like. Okay, we'll just open that link, and we are going to change the share settings so we can go to the other screen. All right, and we will go over to. This always takes a little bit of time to find out which screen it is, and I think it's that one. Okay, so can you see a screen that says a little button that says validate on it? Just give me a thumbs up if you can see that screen. Perfect. Okay, I've got that right. Okay, so all you do is that record, you just paste it into this area sort of where it says SPF policy and click validate, and it will tell you whether you have a record that is actually going to deliver email. So let's put one in there now. Click the validate button and it says hi-ho, syntax is passed, so it means that this email is going to be delivered from that domain from Google. So, so one thing I would say is that's really just information. If you're finding that your emails are not getting through, then go and point your IT guy or your web developer to a site like this to check it. And you know, this is a tool that is essential these days, so that you know, commercially you've got you know, people receiving your emails. All right, that is about as technical as I'm going to get tonight, and the rest of it should be pretty easy. All right, so first tool, the next tool I want to come to is one called GetToby.com. So the web address for that is this one here. So it's GetToby.com. And what that is it sort of works a bit like bookmarks, but it does things like it groups. So if you've got a whole lot of open tabs at the top there, it can group your tabs together so that, let's say at the start of the day, I've got a group of tabs that I open up every single day, and I can just click open that and it will just open all of those tabs all at once. So you don't have to go through and sort of look for bookmarks and open. So I've got some here tonight, which are the apps that I'm sharing tonight. So if we just, and so the way this works is down the bottom here, there's a little plus, and that allows you to give a name to a new collection. So let's just call it new collection. And then what appears on the right-hand side here are all the tabs that happen to be open. Now, at the moment, I've really only got one tab open. And all you do is you just drag it into that area there until you sort of
can't see that live screen, mate.
Sorry?
Can't see your live screen.
Oh, you can't see the live screen. All right, thanks for that. Let's just try and find the right one. Okay. All right, we want that one there. All right, can you see that one there now? So it'll be a white, perfect. Thanks, Lewis. Thanks, Paul. All right, so this is GetToby. All right, now you can see it. You can see that I've got 3 collections of tabs that are open. And so one of them is I've got a Google tab. So when I go into the Google tab, that's like Google Analytics, Google Ads, Google Search Console, and I want to open them up all at once without with just one click. But tonight I've got another tab with all of the apps that I've got tonight. And all we do is we go and open these 5 tabs with that button there, and you'll see up in the browser, it's clicking to open them all. So all of these are opening up, including this one here, which is Toby. And so you can have a number of different collections there, so that you know, if you've got start of day, then you can open up all of the things like, so like I check my books, my accounts, we check the status of websites, which is my start day tab here. And so that really just is a status check. Once the day is all done, then we'll close all those tabs, and then we can move on to the next lot of tabs. Now, one thing you can do is, let's say you're working with a VA or other people, you can actually share these tabs. So if you click that share button, that will generate a shareable link. So you can create a link there, and then that link you can go and send to someone in email. If they click on that link, that'll open up all those tabs in their browser. So, so that might be handy if you're working with say clients and you've got sort of a number of sites you need them to visit, or if you're working with a VA and there's a whole lot of tasks that you want them to accomplish based on the web tabs you've got open. So you can share it. You can share it privately as well too, to just your organisation in, let's say, Google. And the other thing you can do too is these little dots down the side. Is that where it is? Oh no, here it is over here. There's a little button that says Save Session. So let's say you've got a whole ton of apps, sort of tabs open. Sometimes I've got about 20 tabs open. It can get a bit overwhelming. You can just click the Save Session, and that just creates a new collection here of everything that was open now. Then you can close, and it's automatically closed the tab, so I've only got the one tab open. Then you can just work on the one, website that you need to be working on at the time. And then when you're done and you're ready to return to those tabs, you can just click Open, and it just opens them all up once again. That's quite a handy little sort of organizer for your website tabs. So that one there is called, it's free. So it's called GetToby.com, well worth downloading and helping to organise your sort of work life in terms of your apps you've got open. All right. Next one is, this is just a bit of a fun one actually. So this one is one called Cartoonify. Since we're talking about our imagery and our online branding, this one is called befunky.com. And what it allows you to do is to upload a photo and turn it into a cartoon. So I do have a photo here which I will upload. So simply all you do is you go to Open at the top here, go to Computer, and it will open up a screen to upload a photo. So I'm going to take a headshot of myself. Which one do we want? There we go. Let's grab that one there. And so what it'll do is it'll upload it. So there's your photo uploaded. And then on the left-hand side are a whole lot of different features to change the photo. So the first one here is to turn it into a sort of a cartoon-like or a line drawing. So you can see there that it's turned that photo into sort of something that's more like a cartoon. And you can simply download it to your computer. But this one here is a paid one. Now it's going to cost you about $5 to subscribe to the month to download it. So so if you've got a whole lot to do, just subscribe for the month and download it. There are some free ones out there, but this one here is by far the best one. And that one's called befunky.com, but it does actually cost. What was the free? I think the free one was, if I can just go and grab that one. So for those that want to sort of try out a free one, there's one called Cartoonize.net. So let me just throw that one up. And we'll throw these all into chat. I think JM and Lorena are onto that at the moment, throwing it into chat, so you don't have to write it down. So here's the other one. It's called Cartoonize.net/FX Cartoonizer. So same sort of process. You can upload a photo and then you can turn it into a cartoon. So yeah, that might be good just for social media or for something a bit fun. You can also turn it into an impressionist painting. So if you want to know what you look like if Da Vinci painted you, you can do that as well too. So there we go. That's what I look like with Da Vinci. So that one there is worth $1 million. Thank you very much. All right. So that's befunky.com. All right. Next one is, this one really just an app. And being that we spend so much time at the moment, probably not out and about and sort of doing a lot of exercise, but at home. But this is a to-do list with a difference. This one just happens to be an Apple app, so I'm sure there's something similar for Android. I just didn't get a chance to have a look at that because I'm a bit of an Apple dude. But what this one does is it allows you to create to-dos, and it will remind you each day with a reminder to do what it is. So let's say you need to go and go for a walk. So so you're getting your 5,000 steps in a day. So you can create a task to do your 5,000 steps every day. It'll remind you to do it. It will record you as you're doing it, and then it will create some graphs and all sorts of funky things there as well too. But here's the thing with it too, is you have to consistently do it. So you can set the time frame. So it might be something you do once a day, it might be once every couple of days, it might be once every 3 days. So you put it in and you have to do it at the time. So it's helping you to form habits. If you don't do it, and it gives you a chart and a graph of your progress, if you don't do it, that chart resets itself back to 0. So there's no mercy. Back to 0, you start all over again. So it's sort of gamified it a bit so that, that you get this punishment, I suppose, of being reset back to 0. And then you've got to start all over again and build up your stats and your charts and all that sort of thing there. So, and look, you can use it for doing things like your social media posting. So let's say you've got a task that you need to do 15 minutes of social media posting every day as part of your visibility and your marketing. So you can set that there. So it reminds you to do that. You jump on, do your social media posting, click start, click end, and it's going to track you for all the days you do it. If you get to day number 67 and you forget to do your social media posting or you ignore it, bang, back down to 0. You've got to start all over again. So it really is just about helping to create habits out of those repetitive tasks that you need to do, and to give it a bit of fun and gamifying, and really to annoy you when you get back to that 0 to get back into it again. So you can download that from the App Store. It's called streaksapp.com. It's sort of based loosely on the Snapchat streak function that they had in there, where on Snapchat, and I know this because my daughter's was doing it all the time, she probably still is, they've just got to post a photo every day along a certain theme. So it's really come from that there, so just gamifying that. So again, I've downloaded that, I'm using that. I'm hoping it's going to make me a bit more consistent in some of those habits that I'm not particularly consistent in at the moment. But I'm interested if you download it, and I'll be interested to hear how that goes from you as well. All right, the next one is, we're coming to our last one, and that is a book. And this book is called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. I might just flick back to my slides here for that. That's written by an author by the name of Robert Cialdini. And it's an old book, but it is a very good book, and it's pertinent today. When I say old, I think it was written about the 80s. So for some of you on here, the 80s was like a long, long time ago. All right, so let's bring back our screen here. Our PowerPoint, okay. Okay. It's that one there, okay. Share that screen. All right. So what I want to show you is this book, Influence, Psychology of Persuasion. Robert Cialdini, he wrote this. He was a university professor. The reason why he wrote it is that there were, at the time, door-to-door salespeople going around selling things like aluminium windows. This is in the States. All sorts of stuff, door-to-door salespeople, and they had all sorts of tactics that they were using, sales strategies and tactics to get people to buy their stuff. He wrote this book so people didn't get sucked in by those sales tactics and strategies and buy stuff that they didn't want or didn't need. So the sales industry, being what it is, said, this is a fantastic book. we're actually going to use this book to help train our salespeople on these exact same tactics and strategies that he's warning people against. So, so it's one of those books. It's a double-edged sword. It can be used to help educate people to be aware of these things, but it's also used as a sales tool for people as well. But nevertheless, there are some good principles in it, and it actually, because it was written pre-online, but actually it all works for all of our online marketing today too. And there's 6 principles in this book that I'll run through. First of it is reciprocation. So what this principle is it means that if we're at a bar and I buy you a beer, so the first round there we have a beer together, then you feel obligated to get the next round. So that's reciprocation. And the way it works doubly is if I buy the first round and then we finish our first beer and then the next round's up and then you get up to get the next round. I say, no, sit down, I'll get this round. They say, no, I'll get this round. I say, no, you get the next one. I'll get this one here. So I bought 2 rounds now. Because I bought 2, then you really feel like you've got to get the next round. Like there's no way I'm going to go and buy the next round. So how does that work online? So online, it means that it's that whole principle of giving people stuff that's of value. Give. So that at the time that you're ready to ask for something, because you've given them so much, then they feel more likely to reciprocate. So that could be something as simple as, they've given you an email address to get an ebook, and then you've given them some more stuff, and you've given them a sort of a short online course. Then when it comes for you to ask them for their phone number or for some other information, because you've given them so much value, they're more likely to reciprocate. So that's the first principle. The second principle is one of commitment and consistency. When we make a decision, when people make a decision, then they are more likely to behave in a way that confirms that decision that they've made. So there was so if you've said to someone, say, let's say, what would be an example? I can't think of an example now that sort of I'm not actually sort of in the sales environment, but if you say to someone that was a good movie, they've been to a movie and said that was a good movie, wasn't it? And they reply back, yes, it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. Even if the movie wasn't any good, and you come back and someone else says, no, that movie wasn't very good. I didn't like this part and didn't like that part. The person that said it was a good movie and have made a commitment to say that they really liked it are then going to act in a way and say things that are consistent with the first stance that they made. So in a sales context, what salespeople used to do was they would get people to make decisions, so like small yes decisions, they call it. And so people would say, saying yes to small commitments all the way through. So at the end of it, then they buy the product because they want to be consistent with the decisions that they've made before. So and that was one of the big things that Robert Cialdini was warning people against. So when people make a commitment, they're more than like so for instance, when they buy something, then they're going to sort of act in a way that confirms that they've made the right choice and made the right decision. We went out and bought a washing machine the other day, worst possible time that it blew up, but now we have the best washing machine. We had a choice of 5 different washing machines. I know we bought the best one because we made a commitment decision to hand over the money, and there's no way I'm going to admit that that other one was better than the one that we've actually bought now. So that's the second one. The next principle is social proof. When we're unsure about making decisions, what people tend to do is they look to others and the decisions they've made and the actions they've taken to confirm the decisions that we should make ourselves. So and people don't like to be wrong, so they're looking for social proof so that they can do the right thing. So if and often you'll see it in sales situations too, is that I know that I've been in rooms there where people have run to the back of a room to make a buying decision, and that's all part of the process of social proof. Some of those are put up people, they're not really buying, but they get people to run to the back of the room for the 5 special offers, and that there sort of says, okay, it must be good. There's now sort of 20 people there sort of buying it, so I'm going to do that as well too because I've got social proof that it's good. Testimonials are social proof. Case studies are social proof, which is why you need those on your website as well too. People have this propensity to agree with people that they like. So if we like someone, then they're more likely to agree with their opinions. Likewise, if people want to be liked, then they're going to sort of say things and do things in a way that get people to like them. The next one is authority. We're more likely to say yes to others who are authorities. That may or may not be the case so much today, but it probably pretty much is, because you think about what's happened in our current time and environment now. How many people are staying at home because people in authority said that they should? How many people have closed their businesses because someone in authority said they should? Imagine if no one did all that. They couldn't arrest us all. But because someone in authority said it, people do it. So people tend to trust people in authority. So are you the authority in your industry? So it's about, how do you establish that? And the last one is scarcity. People want more of what's less available. So if things are dwindling and becoming less available, they're more likely to make a decision to go and do something. So those are the 6 principles covered in the book. Well worth a read. It was pre-internet times, but it applies equally well in social media. I'd be really interested in your comments as you read that book and see how it applies to our online marketing today. So that's the 5 tools and things that I've got today. So hopefully there was something there interesting in that you could take away and do something with.
That's great. Thanks, mate.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. And if you've got any comments about your favourite ones or whatever, just throw them into chat there, and I'll try and answer those, or I'm just interested and curious to see what it is. And if you've got any questions or tools and apps that you'd like to know whether they exist, also put those into chat too, and I'll go out and see what's out there online as well. Probably bound to be something.